everybody. Tonight we watched Black Widow. So Aiden, what was the plot of Black Widow?
Black Widow. It's a midquel. Comes between Civil War and Infinity War at some point. Black Widow is on the run from Civil War, and she runs into her long-lost sister, whose name I don't remember. She's played by the Midsummer Girl, who's like, all the Black Widows are brainwashed and we need to unbrainwash them and go to find the guy who runs the thing and kill him. And they have a family reunion with their adoptive parents, and they go fight some guys. So, Connor, what did you think of Black Widow?
I thought it was pretty decent. It kind of had it kind of was the MCU's take on a spy film, which I thought was kind of cool. It had elements. It felt more like a Mission Impossible movie on the whole, but of course there were homages to James Bond when Natasha's watching Moonraker, and at the end they go into a giant villain base, like the end of every James Bond movie. Pretty much still happens. The spy aspect itself wasn't so much present, but a lot of the the action set pieces, it had that very like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible tone. I thought some of the CGI was a little sketchy in it.
Yeah,
I'm guessing a lot of it was done during COVID, so I'm guessing this will be a theme running through a lot of these Marvel movies for the next few years, which is whatever. I can kind of forgive it given the whole COVID situation, but there's some points that looked really fucking bad. I liked the whole cast. Midsummer Girl was a cool character. I'm excited to see what they do with her in the future, given that she's kind of taking on the Black Widow mantle. It kind of gives a deeper look at Natasha Romanoff, which was kind of cool. And I liked Rachel Weisz as their mother. I liked Stranger Thing guy as Red Guardian or Russian Captain America. There was a lot. The whole family dynamic was kind of an interesting thing they explored in it, and whether or not it was a true family, because they felt like it was a family, but it was short-lived and it was set up, which is a big theme in the film, is family. It almost begs for like some sort of like Avengers cameo, or a cameo from one or two of the Avengers maybe would have been cool. And nice fan service, and maybe not like in the plot itself, but as like an after credit scene or something, but that didn't happen. I mean, overall, like, I thought the action was good. I thought it was well spaced out. I thought everything in terms of the characters was pretty decent, and it felt like a nice little twist on the Marvel formula, being that I didn't find it quite as formulaic as some, and also being a woman-led movie, it was kind of surprising that that wasn't a gimmick. Like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman rode off the gimmick of being like the first female superhero movie in the modern age. I mean, you have like Elektra and Catwoman, which were just fuck-ups, and the reason they kind of stopped making these female-led movies, and they kind of pretended like Wonder Woman was like the first one. And then Captain Marvel was like, it's the first woman in the MCU, some unestablished character nobody cares about, that we're gonna not make a very good character and make a very bland MCU
and
paint-by-numbers movie.
Captain Marvel tried way too hard with the woman moment thing. They're like, stop mansplaining to me, and she like murders
This
15
movie
people
also
for manspreading and posting on fucking the internet or something.
Yeah, this movie also had Smells Like Teen Spirit. I don't remember if it was Smell Like Teen Spirit in Captain Marvel, but I just want to point that out. But yeah, no, this one actually felt like you kind of that wasn't an aspect that was shoved down your throat watching it, which is kind of rare with these movies. Even the second Wonder Woman felt like, well, we can't ride off of that anymore. And we can't just rip off Captain America again with a woman and pretend it's a new movie. So it's just garbage.
The only part of the movie that was like full-blown fucking girl power cringe was like when the villain said that the most useless and abundant resource in the world was women, which was...
It was based.
Top edge.
Yeah, no, that was a
little try-hard.
That was a little try-hard, but it wasn't shoved down your throat like Captain America's speech in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or like everything in Captain Marvel and both of the Wonder Woman films. Like, this felt like a story that they wanted to tell, and there was... While there were formulaic Marvel moments in it, I felt like... You know, the only part that felt really redundant to me was Taskmaster. Taskmaster doesn't play as big of a role as I kind of hoped. And it was literally the same twist as Ghost from fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp, where you have the gender bent.
Yeah, I guess.
You have the gender bent, misunderstood bad guy, who was like a real bad guy in the comics, but they have to make him like a fucking tortured. It's not their fault, the hero accidentally created you, but now the hero's gonna help, so now they're actually a good guy.
Yeah. It's a little less impactful too in this one, because like, I think it's pretty apparent at a certain point exactly what she is. And
well,
it's just like,
personally, we're gonna get into spoilers now. Not that we've had some spoilers, but now we'll get into spoilers for a little bit. So, like, with Taskmaster, you could tell it was a woman right away.
yeah.
Like, just the build. It's impossible to really, like, fake it. So once I knew it was a woman, I was like, it has to either be Rachel Weisz, but then they were talking about how Black Widow blew up this daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so it's the daughter.
Yeah,
And
then
it
the
wasn't
solution
like a
to
shocking
Taskmaster
twist.
isn't like creative. It's like all the Black Widows are under mind control and they have magic juice that fixes them.
Yeah.
And then in the end, she just also shoots Taskmaster with the magic juice that fixes her.
I don't think this movie needed a ton of exposition, but if you're gonna make like a spy thriller, it would have been nice to have like an explanation behind what this spy juice was. And some of the shit just felt quick. Like the fucking plan at the end felt mighty convenient.
The plan, yeah.
Like it just kind of came together, and it's like something the audience wasn't pertinent to, but it was like I would have almost preferred
something
like
half the characters weren't pertinent to for no good reason.
I would have preferred like maybe like Rachel Weisz's character like double crosses him when after she realizes the virtue of family, because she kind of like the family shows up and then she says actually like you're right, the Red Room is a bad organization. Even though she was working there since like the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
She said. So you'd think...
Yeah, she really had no reason to just...
flip up like that right away. Like, I get the family aspect, but maybe she could have like a change of heart moment. And like with Midsummer character girl, how she slipped her the knife or whatever, she could have fucking... done that, had Midsummer Girl break out and had Black Widow. I don't know. I mean, you could figure it out. That just felt a little sloppy and quick to me. Like, oh, the audience is supposed to think there's danger here, but actually there's not. It's the old switcheroo. But I mean, you know, for the most part, it's a pretty competent movie. That really cool score that they had in like the first couple trailers didn't show up, and I think it was replaced with the piano Avengers theme they had for nostalgia bait.
Yeah,
which was really shitty because that original score that goes the
try hard smells like Teen Spirit version.
Yeah,
that shit felt really try hard. There's a couple moments in this that felt like way too trying way too hard.
It felt pretty mature for a Marvel movie. Like I was kind of shocked at some moments that they left in, because some of the shit was kind of violent for a Marvel movie, I thought. Not that like I personally was offended by it or anything, but given that the target demographic for these are usually children,
yeah,
I was kind of surprised.
It's Disney; they can just afford to make their movies rated whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was rated PG-13. They could make a fucking hardcore porn film and Disney could get it PG-13. because it's fucking Disney, but I'm just saying, I didn't think it should have been R even. I was just saying I'm surprised how edgy it was for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
At times. So Aiden, what did you think of Black Widow?
I kind of just like struggled to care. Like a lot of the action, pretty good. They got some good fight scenes. I very much liked Red Guardian.
Yeah.
Is that his name? The Russian Captain America. I thought he was a very fun character. I enjoyed every single scene with him. As for everyone else, yeah, I mean, Black Widow is whatever to me. Black Widow's mom is pretty whatever to me. I think Florence Pugh is good as new Black Widow. I guess we'll see what they do with her. Apparently she's joining the Dark Avengers. They're probably going to stick her in like the Hawkeye show, which I just really
Or they're gonna make
could not be fucked to care about.
Where she fights. Hawkeye show review coming in 6 months when that comes out. Because the Infinite Marvel content's definitely not gonna burn everybody out on the concept of Marvel.
At least Loki's good.
Loki's pretty good.
New episode's out. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't dislike it. I think a lot of the action's cool. Red Guardian is cool. The ending is a bit much for me. Where like, you know, this isn't really like, the only guy in this movie who has superpowers is the Red Menace, who's just like a super soldier. But the entire climax of this movie is like a spaceship that nobody knew about, that's like the size of a city, blowing up. And everyone's like jumping on the pieces of the shattered glass and like doing ninja flips off all the falling pieces as they fall to earth for 15 minutes and ninja flipping off of them and then just surviving and landing on the ground, and because they did a somersault when they hit the ground, they don't fucking turn into paste.
They all had parachutes.
Black Widow didn't.
Yes, she did.
She grabbed onto Taskmaster for 4 seconds and then
parachute.
smashed into the ground at like 150 miles an hour.
No, they used the parachute for a quarter of a second, bro. It slowed them down to a pleasant speed.
Exactly, yeah. It gets a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, considering this thing's like a flying skyscraper, you'd think the glass would be pretty thick, but while they're falling, they're like smashing through it and punching through it, like rolling through it, and you think they'd just be fucking eviscerated, but they're perfectly fine at the end. They just walk away.
Yeah.
Gets a little silly for the regular humans to be doing this.
I mean, let's be real. Black Widow's in all the fucking Avengers movies and doesn't die instantly, so, I mean, if we're following the internal logic of the MCU, it's not that fucking bad. But I do understand what you're saying.
It's pushing it a little bit.
If it wasn't in the MCU, I'd probably complain
It's
more.
pushing it a little, because for most of the Avengers movies, what does Black Widow actually do? She stands on the ground, she shoots her pistols.
She like does fucking front flips off the fucking buildings all the time. In the first Avengers, she does like a quadruple fucking front flip onto like some alien spacecraft and like kicks the guy off. Fucking triple barrel roll.
That's stupid then.
She's a Russian. She's trained by the Russians, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, it's okay. They should just give fucking Red Commie America, Captain Communism, his own show.
They're probably
like
gonna,
him.
I'm guessing either. I'm
Just keep
guessing
putting
new
him in
Black
the
Widow's
Black
either
Widow
gonna get a
movies or
show or a movie.
Put him in the Hawkeye show.
I don't know if fucking purple hair Seinfeld girl is gonna be a Disney Plus exclusive thing or if they're building to something with her, but she showed up in this. And
Should have Captain Communism behead Jeremy Renner in real life and take over that show, so I don't have to watch a Hawkeye show for 18 episodes, because you just know that the Hawkeye show is going to be the longest one for some ungodly reason.
WandaVision was the longest one so far. The other two,
No, they're going to
six
find a way to
episodes.
make Jeremy Renner's show fucking 100 episodes just to make me suffer.
I can't believe it's, you know, it's probably just gonna be him shooting arrows with Haley Steinfeld or whatever for
I know that sounds
6
fucking
episodes.
Sounds like the worst 6 episodes of my life.
Probably be fun.
Sounds like getting castrated. My fucking castrating myself with my teeth would probably be more pleasant than a Hawkeye show.
I still think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably Marvel's worst project.
When's someone just gonna accuse Jeremy Renner of rape so I never have to see him in a movie again?
What do you have against Jeremy Renner?
just don't
I don't
like
him either, but
It's creepy and weird. He has this creepy little fetish app, and he has the dumbass haircut with the rat tail in Avengers Endgame, and I've never liked him. He ruined the Bourne franchise, which wasn't good to begin with.
Well, then they brought fucking Jason Bourne back.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't ruin shit. They just made a shitty movie that flopped, so they brought back Matt Damon.
Yeah, it's the only one I've seen, though, and it sucked ass.
Get back on topic so I can go to sleep.
Okay, Black Widow, pretty decent. Jeremy Renner fucking sucks. Connor, would you recommend Black Widow?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Aiden, would you recommend Black Widow?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
There you go.